love one other, he is symbiotically attached. Genuine love, he said, is an orientation one has to the world. You can't genuinely love one person without loving all people, he felt, without loving life. A love of life is never completely extinguished, and Fromm was hopeful about signs he saw in a growing number of individuals in our society. He saw more and more people searching for meaningful, interesting work over high income and prestige, a growing search in our society for spiritual values. His solution to the dilemma we face today with our youth, according to his theory, would be to give them genuine freedom and independence and to put an end to all types of exploitative control. His theory calls on us to have faith in the potential of our young and to tackle their feelings of inferiority and powerlessness by listening to them, allowing them to affect us, and tackling the pathogenic influence of the unalive institutions in our society. Fromm called for decentralization and self-management in institutions whose top priority must be the fullest development of human powers. The most important thing we can do to stem destructiveness in our young people, according to Fromm's theory, is to help them develop their potentials, not according to some outer design or standards, but according to the inner design of their own unique personalities, of their own being. Fromm defines good as having an existence that matches our essence. For him, evil exists when there is a gap between our existence and our essence. We achieve our potential, live our individuality, when our thinking comes from our own mental activity rather than regurgitating thoughts we've heard, when our feelings are the result of our spontaneous evaluation of situations, not feelings we've learned are appropriate to the situation. We will only meet others in equality instead of through domination and submission, when we are able to stand alone. Individual life is fraught with risk and doubt and conflict, and we have to let our youth experience that as a normal part of life rather than escaping their anxiety, surrendering their freedom by submitting to a leader or through compulsive conforming. We have to teach them, by example, that the price of security is too high if it comes at the cost of their integrity. The average person, Fromm said, never overcomes an attachment to the good mother figure in whatever form, whether country, God, bureaucracy, dependent relationship. It is moral aloneness, Fromm believed, that man finds so devastating. We need to teach our youth to find their rootedness, he might say, in their own souls, to rely on their own conscience, not outer authority, to make their own decisions. Our youth must become again, Fromm would say, a center of activity. His theory might envision a school run by teachers and students, a place where people felt they had an effect, where the subject matter was varied to meet varied interests, to develop varied talents, where people were given responsibility for their own growth, where power wasn't exerted over people, but rather was the power to do things. We can give all our youth hope, listen to them, encourage their interests, turn feelings of impotence and boredom into feelings of effectiveness and joy. The first step in creating a more humanistic society, Fromm said, was to become aware, to formulate what we know to be true but haven't yet put into words. What is needed, Fromm believed, is nothing less than a spiritual renewal. When each person has fully developed his individuality, his being, Fromm felt, his potential, there would be an absence of envy, of aggression, of war, and the plenitude of all things for all. People cannot live as mere objects, Fromm said. Feelings of powerlessness and isolation make that intolerable. We must make people, again, the author of their own activity. What is needed, Fromm said, are radical changes in our social and political structure that would reinstate man to a supreme role in society.